how to attract the man you want. All right? We're going to talk about that because I like women. And I'm going to tell you from a man's vantage point what you got to do to draw in a man. Okay, now there's going to be subjectivity to this. Men are going to be different, but in a large basis, men are the same as other men, and women are the same as other women. Okay, we are not complex creatures. The complexity comes in the subjectivity, but most of y'all are getting the objective wrong. So let's talk about that. Now, we covered this in yesterday's video, which is that if you do not show up, right, you will not be found. Simple as that. If you are healing, if you are waiting to be ready to date, if you think it'll happen at the right time, all of you will end up in crappy relationships, right? That's not what you want. If you are not proactive, if love is not a priority for you, if you think I'm still young and you're past your early 20s, you're not, at least in the dating game, then you have to be very cognizant of what you can do to show up. Now, a lot of men nowadays are not masculine, right? They won't pursue you. A lot of women complain he won't walk up to me on the street and stuff. And honestly, that's fine because the majority of relationships now are starting digitally, right? You don't ride a horse to get to work or you'll be late every time, right? You take a car because there's technology. So it makes sense to use technology if you use it right to get scale. Is there the loss of having as much body language, etc.? Yes. So you filter and then you meet them in real life. Okay? That's how it works. But you have access to people you'd never have access to who can be perfectly aligned for you. And we are more spoiled that way, right? When you look on Uber Eats about what you're going to order, back in the day, it was going to be bread or potatoes, right? Now you can be like, oh, I feel like Thai food. I feel like this. I feel like that. There's positives to that if you appreciate it. So, with more optionality, yes, men are going to scale, right? Of course, they're going to want to do things digitally. You want the guy who'd be willing to walk up to you on the street, etc. But most men who have access to pretty women, which is the type of man you want, right? You don't want him to just be so taken by your looks that he'll do anything for you. You want him to look for your personality too, right? And be sober almost on just looks. Those guys aren't going to be like, oh gosh, she's so beautiful, I just have to walk up to her, right? Unless you're reading some book in a park that maybe ties to his values, etc. I would advise men, don't waste your time walking up to random women, right? It doesn't make sense. You can scale at large online and then meet them in real life, right? Do a phone call, etc. So that gets to the point that if you are anti-dating apps because, oh, I get all these bad matches, all that type of stuff, you are not above that, right? Are you attracting better men? How? Then you'd be with one, right? It's a dating app. It's for dating, right? It makes sense to be there versus I'm going to do some indirect thing and maybe some serendipity will occur. That would be nice. Yeah, if $1 billion showed up at my door, that would be nice. We don't care about shoulds. We care about reality, right? I don't